A lot of the time in Fable 2, you are traveling with, or you are experiencing the world with what we call companions. Now, sometimes those companions are people that are really woven into the story, a huge amount, and there will be no spoilers here. Other times, these are people that come with you for a little while and experience the story with you and then leave you. Other times, these are people that you've chosen. We completely allow you to drag along anyone you like or anyone you can convince to come with you in the Fable world. So if you like the look of a particularly nice woman, you can charm her and then bring her along and take her on an adventure with you, and she'll comment on it, and you know, she won't be tremendous help, but it's nice to have a, let's say, relaxation on the journey as you go adventuring. But the great things about these guys is that one of the things that we do in Fable 2 is we try never, or very, very rarely, to take any control away from you. While you're traveling, as you're traveling, people will be telling you stories. They'll be talking to you. They'll be telling you about the region you're in, or about what you're going to do, or giving you some back history. Now, you can always tell them to stop talking. You've got a whole suite of expressions to tell them to do that. They won't talk in the middle of a fight or anything like that. You know, they're reasonably sensible. But it does mean that, you know, them telling you that story means that we don't have to have these really ridiculously long, tedious cutscenes that no one wants to see. Yeah, the Xbox Live Arcade game is coming out before Fable. There are 3 of them. And they allow you, they're like gambling games, and allow you to play these gambling games, and any money, and all money you accumulate in those games is imported to Fable when you own Fable. If you already own Fable, it's all automatic. What you'll find is if you've got your 50,000 that you've earned in the Xbox Live Arcade game, you'll find that as you go through the story, you don't get it immediately you start the game, because you start the game as a little kid. But as soon as you get out of being a kid, someone will walk up to you and say, "Here you go, have this," and that'll be the 50,000. You're then free to spend that 50,000 on anything you like. Clothes, weapons, augments, jewelry, customizations. You can go and buy a house with it. You can decorate that house and customize that house. You can then speculate and sell that house on, make more money on it. You can buy a shop with it. Those are the sort of things that you can spend that money on. We've done something in Fable 2, which is actually turns out to be one of the biggest features of Fable 2. And it's the most simplest one to describe. We've completely detached earning gold from doing quests. In Fable 1 and a lot of role-playing games, when you did a quest, you got gold, experience, and fame. While in Fable 2, you get experience and fame, but zip gold. You're going to have to go out and work for your gold. If you want to, you can get through the whole of Fable without ever having a job. You'll have pretty rubbish weapons, but you'll be super powered up on these buttons. You'll be able to use those weapons extremely well. Whereas other people would have spent the time, and it does take time to earn this money, and spend it on the weapons. So a great weapon with great customization on here equals the balance of there. And all of this works. It works fantastically well. So when you say, I don't care if someone earns 100 million, that's how much if you sum everything up in the Fable world, I think it comes to about 100 million gold that you need to buy everything. I don't care if anyone's there, they won't have any of this stuff. They'll only be able to mash this button, even with their great legendary weapon. Fable 2, I tell you, it is so completely different. In Fable 2, it's a lot more about sacrifice. How much are you really willing to sacrifice to be a truly good person? And I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about real sacrifice. So there's going to be many times in this game where I'd love to give you examples, but it would totally spoil the game, where I want you to put this down. It's not doing a cutscene, I want you to put this down and think to yourself, I just can't do it. I just cannot be that good. I just cannot sacrifice all of that. And you know, I want your finger to be hovering over this button thinking about it. In fact, what I truly want at that point is people to save the game and go to bed and then think about what they're going to do, because that is how much the choices and the consequences really play out.